Now, if you love off-road racing, you are here. You are at Crandon. And, yeah, once again, here we are running 1,600 light buggies. Looks like they are ready to go. We got a glimpse there. If you looked at the Jumbotron of short course karts, they will be following this race. So we're getting the kids geared up. They're going to be running the super short track. But we were correct originally. It is 1,600 light buggy coming up next. And 40 cars, they're following that pace truck right now. We're going to get into racing. And, wow. Like I said earlier, if you're in row number 20 and you only got 6 laps, it is go time right from the get-go. You have your... I don't even know how to approach that if you're a driver, and you're in the middle of this pack.
You only have 6 laps.
Well, you're going to definitely have your work cut out for you, especially what you're talking about. It's when we keep talking about the mindset. When are you going to actually be able to pass? When are you going to be able to do certain things like this? So it's really cool to be able to see one of these. Some of my favorites, of course, out there would be, Jake Nelson. I always love seeing Jake. He's always a great person. Sean Springstrow, had a chance to talk to him, and he was also telling me, Tiffany, I'm excited to be here. It's something a little bit different. I'm looking forward to it, and that the class of 40 does not scare me. He is ready to do this, and it seems like everybody else is.
All right, so side-by-side start, 40 of these 1,600 light buggies, and it is green flag racing here at the Big House.
40 buggies. Remember, only 6 laps, so it's going to be cool to watch. If you're in that mid-pack, you're going to have to try to pick off a car every 100 feet.
Yeah, lap traffic definitely going to come into play early and often here at Crandon with 40 of these 1,600 buggies on the short track.
4 or 5 wide.
Yeah, like 5 wide going into the gravel pit corner. I don't even know how to call the race at this point, Brent.
There's just cars everywhere. It's just crazy to watch. There's Jake Nelson. Looks like he got out to a good start.
Well, and that's it. You want to get out front. You want that clean air. You don't want to be pulling tear-offs. I got to tell you, you're mid-pack right now. You are just blazing through tear-offs, and that's not what you want happening. As we've got about 1 lap in the books here in 1,600 light buggy. Remember, no competition caution today. Absolutely no competition caution. We're running these things wire to wire. And if you are Nelson, you are excited about that no competition caution because you are out front. Looks like the 174 there in the second spot. That is Kyle Patnaud.
Jim, talking about like the shortened races, I was talking to a couple drivers yesterday, and when things got changed and canceled, and today when they were at the parade, they're like, oh yeah, it's 6 laps, and the guy that's going to start like 14 goes, yeah, it's only 6, and the guy that's in the lead, he's like, I don't care if it's 2 laps, he said, I'm already in the lead.
Another one to be able to watch in here is Tyler Wyans, also known as Tizzle. So if you see Tizzle out there, the 195 of Tyler, I caught up with him, and he was saying sitting first in points is very, very nerve-wracking. These are fast cars. He's, no practice, always throws a wrench into it as well, so.
A little bumping and banging there with the top 3 leaders.
Yeah, Jake Nelson has his hands full going through the barn turn. Again, I'll say it 100 more times, that corner just doesn't do justice until you really race on that track because it just falls away. The elevation is just crazy.
Yeah, Nelson got his hands full there with Patnaud, it looks like. But Nelson going into the gravel pit, we got, looks like a caution flag out. So caution flag comes out with 1 lap in the books. Whoa, we got a couple of them tangled up here. And the way these races are going to run, we got so many races to get to today.
Oh, look at that.
We have a time limit on these races of about, I believe, 12, 13 minutes. And so if we get to that hard break, we are going to, put a pause on this race and throw the checkered flag.
Hunter Tingley in that 170 up on top.
And then Corey Fisher of the 103 is on the bottom.
That's an interesting situation they're in there. I don't know if I've ever seen cars get tangled up that way. It doesn't look like either one of them went over. Just looks like they were, I don't even know what to say. I know what to say, but I'm not going to say it. As we've got 1,600 light buggies here, looks like, though, good thing is we're going to get this thing cleaned up and we're going to get back to green flag racing. I know with this time limit, that's what we want. You want to get these laps burned in, because with the time limit, they're going to put a pause on the race. They're going to throw the checkered flag. So these drivers right now, other than Jake Nelson, who's leading, he's like, no, take your time. I want this. I want this win. But if you're any other driver in the field right now, you're like, come on, let's get these things cleaned up. And I know here at Crandon, I mean, we've got some of the best safety crews in the business. But with this time limit, like I said, all killer, no filler out here Friday. That's our new deal. All killer, no filler Friday. So we're calling it at Crandon. I'm coining the term. But these drivers, they want this thing to get cleaned up in a hurry so they can go back to racing.
Yeah, definitely, and they will. They always do a good job. And remember, we have a lot of races before Kid Rock comes out, so they're just going to keep pushing them ahead. And that it stinks for guys that are in 19th, 20th position. Obviously, you don't have enough laps really to get to the front, but if you're Jake Nelson, well, this is not what you wanted to see.
Exactly, and if you're still in the top 3, top 5, like we were talking Tizzles and 5 right now, you're looking at it, and what happens if you were about to set up that pass, get everything ready, do that, your spotter says it's clear, you're ready to go, and then you have something like this. So it's always cool to talk to the drivers about the momentum that they have, and then how they lose it, but need to regain it back when they go through a yellow flag just like this.
Well, and you talked about that, and I that's one of the things, especially on a short track like this, passing opportunities are few and far between, and sometimes it takes you a lap or two to set that pass up, and you're looking at the other driver's line, and you finally set it up, and then it's like, pump the brakes, we're going to throw a yellow flag here. And it really, like you said, it's difficult to reboot as a driver and, find that groove again. And, especially now, because we're going to probably shorten the laps here, I would assume, once we go back to green flag racing. I mean, it is going to be go time. You're going to have to push right away.
Yeah, we might even go green, white, checker. We don't even know yet. And, I mean, time's running out. It's sad to say, but Jake Nelson, he's just like, keep clicking it off, baby.
Yeah, Jake Nelson, he's got the stopwatch running. He's like, hey, are we up against that time limit yet? I think it's time to throw. I think it's time to throw the checkered, right? So, yes, we got 40 cars on track right now and 1,600 light buggies. Immediately following this race, we're going to roll right into short course karts, then sportsman side-by-side. Then we're going to move into, it looks like 1,600 buggies, super stock truck, and super buggy today. So a lot of racing yet on tap. I know I was looking at the super buggy field. This is one of the biggest buggy fields I've ever seen, I think. Super buggy, absolutely slam-packed here at Crandon. I mean, we're talking, I don't know, it's something like, I think, close to 20 entries in super buggy. I haven't seen that. Wow. Tiffany, you've got your homework, so you're the one that, that was 1,600 buggy, though. I'm looking here at through our numbers here at super buggy, but
24.
24 entries in super buggy. That is crazy.
Well, and I always like seeing all the super buggies go out there. Some of my favorite ones, when you've been able to do that. What I really like talking to and what I like doing is the Michael Meisters. He is just so genuine out there, so I hope Michael Meister has a good one when the super buggies come back out.
So yellow flag, we've got these 1,600 buggies, light buggies, rolling again. We got 1,600 buggies coming up later today. These are light buggies. I guess the younger brothers, the 1,600 buggies, but they are rolling again. Looks like we've got our pace truck. I'm going to bring them around yet again with a yellow flag. So Jake Nelson going to be your leader when we go back to green flag racing. Had that little pile up there, putting a pause on this race, so things are probably going to get shortened. We are going to be running up against that time limit, so it's going to be interesting to see how many laps are left when we go back to racing here in 1,600 light buggy. But Jim Beaver, Tiffany Stone, Brent Smith, we've been calling the action. I know we've got the fourth partner on our team, Ryan Thomas, who throughout the weekend we're going to have him chiming in as well. So we'll be calling most of the action. I know we've got Red Bull TV. They're going to be here, and that crew going to be calling the Pro 2 and Pro 4 races later on. So we'll be handing off to them at some point on both Saturday and Sunday. But right now we are in the middle of this 1,600 light buggy race under caution conditions, looking to wrap this up here. The 6-lap main event feature here at Crandon for day number 1, as this all leads us to Kid Rock tonight, and Crandon rocks, and I can't wait for Kid Rock. I want to talk about a guy like tailor-made for Crandon, Kid Rock. All right, so it's going to bring him around. I know Rusty Wallace in attendance. I got to say, I know Rusty Wallace. He spent some time behind the wheel of an off-road truck. He did some stuff with Robbie Gordon Stadium Super Trucks. You wonder if Rusty Wallace is getting bit by the bug. He's going to be out here, and who knows, by Sunday we may see Rusty in a truck. I could see that happening.
That would definitely happen, and I don't think too many people would say no if they were like, hey, would you let me drive?
Yeah, hey, there's trucks out there.
If you're Rusty Wallace, there's always trucks out there. That being said, we are talking about 1600 Light Buggy right now. We're back to green flag racing. Jake Nelson taking us to the green flag.
What a great start by Jake Nelson, Jimmy. Really was paying attention, trying to check up everybody behind him, and he opened up already a 2-3 car length gap.
Look at that. Nelson just sending it off the jumps there. Wow. Found a little extra mojo today for Crandon in the big house in the 50th as he makes his way through the gravel pit. He's going to be heading towards that Polaris Ranger legendary leap.
We'll see this time by how many laps are actually left with this race. That 141 going a little bit wide. Nelson trying to keep his race line, but he knows he has 38 plus buggies behind him.
All right, so Jake Nelson currently leading. We got Colin Schultz there excuse me, in the second spot.
Yeah, very fast. Colin got it right around in second place there. Schultz really trying to pick apart Jake Nelson. Time is starting to run out this time by. Jake Nelson just needs to keep holding on to his lines. He's really, really fast. The track is really starting to develop nicely. Green flag still out this time by.
Yeah, we're going to try and get all 6 laps in if we can, but right now Jake Nelson, he is the man on a mission, leading this thing, trying to make a victory happen here at Crandon in 1600 Light Buggy.
Schultz trying to still reel in our leader, running the same line through that S corner.
Tell you what, Schultz going to have his work cut out for him if he's going to try and chase down Nelson, who has just been hitting his marks all day long today. So it is Nelson, Schultz, Patnod, 1, 2, 3 here in 1600 Buggy. As the white flag comes out, we got 1 to go in 1600 Light Buggy. Can Jake Nelson keep this lead going? Leading this thing wire to wire.
Schultz is starting to reel him in this time by.
Yeah, Schultz been ridiculously fast there in the second spot. Look at that, getting a run on Nelson as they come in front of the grandstands.
Yeah, as they come off this barn jump right here, he really has to just drive it through this turn and go into the gravel pit and try to get a little bit of a run. But it's the last lap, so you try to look to maybe slide across the blue groove a little bit and try to pull away his line. But Jake Nelson, he knows he's back there. He's going to try to protect.
Nelson got 2 corners to try and protect here through the gravel pit. Looks like Schultz pushing up a little bit high. Patton now trying to hang on for that 3rd spot.
Yeah, Patton in the 3rd spot there. And Schultz, I don't think there's enough time. He's going to try to go wide to try to sneak underneath. See if he can get side by side, and doesn't look like it's going to be enough, but does a good job. Almost taking away that top spot.
Wow, what a finish there. Photo finish in 1600 Light Buggy. Jake Nelson hanging on with it. Schultz in the 2nd spot. I believe Patnod going to wind up in that 3rd and final podium spot. 40 cars on the track. Wow, what a shootout here in 1600 Light Buggy.
Cars still coming across the finish line. 40 plus cars, and there's your winner right there. The 141 of Jake Nelson. Just dominated flag to flag.
Great run there by the number 141, and we are going to take a